In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a symbol. A symbol is a new and very powerful tool that is available in IntelliViz HTML5. Symbols allow you to create one element and centralize their most commonly used properties in one area for easy reusability. So this is the end result of something that we're going to build right now. This is a button. It has a label property available at the very top, where I can name the label of my button, as well as change the background color. Something that's neat about symbols is that if you edit one, it globally edits all of them. So an example of this is if I duplicate multiple of these and I go into edit that symbol. We're going to talk about how you actually do this in a moment. But if I go to edit that symbol and I make the default font color 12 and I get out of symbol edit mode, it changes it for every single symbol that is used throughout my project. Okay, so let's actually make a symbol. So I'm going to just show you that most palette elements are actually symbols. If you look at a fan, it's actually a symbol with two commonly used properties available on the top level. So this fan is actually lots and lots of layers combined into one. And the user of this template only cares about these two properties that are the most commonly used. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom button, and we're going to put the most commonly used properties of that at the very top of the accordion so that I don't have to go digging for properties. I know where they are. They're always at the top. So I'm just going to start with a piece of text. I'm going to make it large, let's just say 48. And I'm going to start by actually converting this piece of text into a symbol by right-clicking on its layer and going convert to symbol. I'm going to call this button 2. So if I go OK and just name it button 2, notice that I can no longer see the text layer. It's now has a symbol accordion at the top. And this symbol accordion we're going to populate with our commonly used properties. We're going to keep it simple this time and just use button label and background color. You can add all sorts of properties to this, like font size, font family, stuff like that, but we're just going to keep it simple right now. So in order to edit this symbol, I'm going to right-click on the outline pane on the layer. I can also do that right here, and I can edit the symbol. I'm now in a separate editor where I can edit the symbol. If I want to get out of this editing area, I can double click on the background, which will get me out, or I can click the back button up here. But what I want to do is I want to edit this symbol, and I want to add some commonly used properties to it. So what I want to do is I want to right click on it and go edit properties. So here's where I have all sorts of custom properties I can add. This is very similar to dynamic properties in the previous version of IntelliViz. So here I have strings, numbers, sections, paths, all sorts of stuff that we'll go over in other videos. But for this one, we're going to keep it very simple and just stick to string, which is a property that accepts alphanumeric characters, so numbers or letters. And we're also going to add a fill. which is a fill color. So what I did was I dragged it from the left onto the right. This is a very common thing you do in data flow as well. You drag it from the left onto the right window. So if I just exit out of this just to show you where these are, I'm going to X, get out of symbol edit mode, and look, if you look in the symbol accordion here, you can see that I've got the string and fill property available. But what I want to do is I actually want to name them nicer, and I want to actually attach them to properties so that they actually do something. So I can get back into edit mode by double clicking on the text, or if I know that I'm editing properties, I can just right click edit properties and it'll automatically go into symbol edit mode. So I'm going to double click on this to change the name to, let's just say, label. And the next one is going to be background color. I'm going to give this the label of button, and I'm going to give it the background color of, let's say, green. Currently nothing is happening because I haven't done any property to property bindings to actually attach it to anything. So what I want to do is I want to bind label to text. Now, whenever I change the label of my button, whether it be by binding a name property or typing it in, it's going to change my button. I'm going to do the same thing on background color. I'm going to bind background color to the background fill of my button. If I exit out of symbol parameters and exit out of symbol edit mode, I have my label, which I can change to some sort of name. I have my background color. It's default set at green here, but I can change it here. To blue, let's say. So let's say I have a whole bunch of buttons. I have 4 buttons that I realize I made a mistake and I want to change something about it. What I can do is I can double click on one of them, change the font style, let's say, and then I can just exit out and all of them change as well. Make sure you watch the rest of the videos on symbols because there's lots and lots of things that you can do with symbols. This is a very basic introduction.